Faith and Chief Parchment.
Well, Carla, what most students and tech parents don't know is that Texas Tech officers basically have two choices when dealing with students. If hand-to-hand force isn't working or if their presence isn't enough, the officers are required to use deadly force against the student. Texas Tech police officers are not allowed to use any sort of in-between or medium force on students. For example, the officers aren't allowed to use pepper spray. But the NFL just decided to move the game to Sun Devil Stadium in Phoenix. They hope it will help aid the residents who have been evacuated. In the 911 tape, Cowerly's mom, Darlene, said she thought the man trying to break into her house might be her son. We also know that Cowerly recently divorced from his ex-wife, Kelly. Which presidential hopeful has the best chance of winning? Depending on which candidate can swing the labor union vote. As we said, Sunday evening at the Academy Awards, we won't just be tuning in to see who wins the coveted Oscar statuettes. The event has become as much about fashion as it has about awards, and a big part of that glamour is the jewelry.
How easily can Lubbock teens get alcohol, and what area businesses are making it easy for them? In an exclusive report tonight, ABC 28's Erin Kennedy goes undercover to find out what's being done to keep liquor out of your teens' hands.
Can I see your ID? 5 words no 17-year-old wants to hear, unless you're this minor who's working undercover for the Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission. Do you guys have a goal then that you're trying to get to?
0% sales.
TABC agent Denny Carlton helps operate the minor stings around Lubbock. A successful sting isn't about violators getting caught in the act. Instead, a successful sting is when no one sells.
I really feel good when we do a minor sting and nobody sells, because that means what we're doing is working.
On the other hand, Carlton's efforts aren't slowing down 19-year-old Beth Frampton. How hard is it for her to get liquor in Lubbock?
It's very easy. We do it every weekend, every Friday. Yeah.
John Ackerman agrees.
It's a lot easier to drink at like a bar.
Yeah.
Well, not like a bar, but like a restaurant. It's easier to drink at because they might think that you're of age, or they just don't care because the college student working and they want ID because they want to be the cool person.
Now, while the 20-year-old Rob Martin says he doesn't want a chance walking into a bar and asking for a beer, it doesn't mean his fridge isn't stocked. If I timed you on Friday night and I said, okay, how long is this going to take you? Go.
To get beer?
Yeah.
Oh, 30 minutes. That's it.
In fact, Rob has a pretty good idea about who's selling and who isn't.
All the places at the Strip, all the stores at the Strip, Card, for sure. I'm sure half the bars, maybe a little bit below that.
He's right. During the undercover minor sting, none of the places on the Strip sold to the minor. However, when TABC began hitting restaurants on this night, 3 out of 6 sold.
Coors Light.
Here's a list of the restaurants that sold: Casa Olé, The Caboose, and The Wrecker Room. And the restaurants that didn't sell to the minor: Rudy's, Mama Rita's, and Rosa's.
You're 17. Can't have one.
Between conscientious servers and TABC agents, the battle to keep your children safe will continue.
I think parents should feel safe in the fact that we're doing everything we can and the best we can, but there's still more to do. Good try.
Erin Kennedy, ABC 28 News.
ABC 28 Sasha Bray spoke with one man on the scene who says he's been driving a truck for 15 years, but he's never seen a dirt storm like what he saw yesterday. So the investigation will continue. As for now, 10 people were brought to UMC for treatment. One of those people died. The others have not been released yet. 6 other victims were taken to Covenant Medical Center for treatment. No word yet on their condition. If you found a bag stuffed with money in the middle of the street, what would you do? Lubbock resident Darlene Lopez was faced with that question on February 20th. She found a bag with $3,500 in it while driving back to Our Lady of Guadalupe Church, where she works. When she called Lubbock police, they knew exactly who it belonged to. Philip Thrash owns ATMs in the city. He says he left the money bag on top of his car and then drove off. And Thrash offered Lopez a reward, but no matter how much he insisted, she refused. Both of them believe it was divine intervention that brought them together. That's right.
A little bit more rainfall.
Time to go buy some tulips and celebrate.
Ah, yes. Time to, is it, I don't know anything about planting tulips, so I was going to ask if it's time to plant tulips.
I don't know about planting. I know about buying them.
Just buying, not
it.
planting to grow,
Right.
Just buying to look at.
Just to celebrate it.
I
That's
see.
what I would.
And by the way, I am also raising money for the New Furniture for Carlos Foundation, and I will be throwing a party and washing cars in a toga.
And I don't get the toga. Why a toga?
$500 to wash a car. You know what? I'm living in the
No,
wrong
I
place.
think the $500 is to see George Clooney in a toga.
Oh, see, well, there,
That's my
I guess that's, I guess I won't be
We'll
making
see if you can get
$500
it.
per car.
We'll find out though. But right now, the time is 6:31 and the temperature is 39 degrees. Coming up next on Good Morning Lubbock is more rain. The kids also had a contest for the most unusual pig, best dressed pig, and even the most colorful pig. Haiti's exiled president blames President Bush for his removal. That tops this morning's More National News. A man who was shot in the Depot district trying to break up a fight over the weekend is out of the hospital. Daniel Sines was shot in the arm Saturday night. Police say the shooter, Timothy Leak, parked his Corvette in front of the Cactus Theater with his daughter inside. Leak asked his wife to get in the car. She refused, and he pulled her in by her hair. That's when Sines stepped in. He kicked the car and cut the convertible top with a knife. Leak pulled out a gun and shot Sines. Leak is charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault and 1 count of endangering a child. A local sandwich shop had a scary night. Around 12:30 this morning, firefighters responded to the subway at 2529 82nd Street. There was a small electrical fire in the kitchen. Firefighters had everything under control in about 20 minutes. The shop was not open at the time. A man is arrested after leading police on a 20-minute car chase through East Lubbock. Around 11:45 last night, police were in pursuit of a car that would not pull over. After a brief pursuit, the man bailed out of his car around MLK and Canyon Lakes and then jumped into the lake. Police say Alvin Bradley had felony warrants out for his arrest. Bradley didn't get far, though. Police apprehended him and took him to jail. An elderly driver gives a Lubbock fabric store an unwanted drive-through. The woman drove her car into Joann Fabrics and Craft Store at 82nd and Slide. It happened about 11:30 yesterday morning. The driver says she accidentally hit the gas pedal instead of the brake. The car smashed through the front window. A customer was caught underneath the rubble, but she wasn't hurt. And about 2 o'clock, a car hopped a curb and plowed into a fire hydrant. The wreck at 32nd and University made a mess of someone's front lawn. Landscaping rocks were scattered everywhere, and the driver says another car pulled in front of him and he was trying to avoid a collision. The crash didn't hurt anyone, nor did it interrupt water service. The time is 6:07 and the temperature is 39 degrees. Still to come on Good Morning Lubbock. They're trendy, they're fast.
And all of a sudden, my dad and I saw these lights come over the top of the screen.
More than half a century ago, in the back of a 1949 Ford convertible, Pat Allgood saw something she still can't explain.
We are sitting there watching the movie, obviously, and all of a sudden, my dad and I saw these lights coming over the screen. It was just a formation of lights about the size of, maybe a little bit smaller than a Frisbee.
In August of 1951, Pat Allgood was one of many Lubbock residents to witness a world-famous UFO.
You know, Lubbock doesn't get a lot of publicity, so this was our big time to shine back in '51.
And shine we did, maybe even glow. According to the Lubbock Avalanche Journal, September 1st, 1951, the unidentified glowing objects were seen all across the county. Some people saw colored lights, others said they moved faster than a jet, but no one could explain exactly what they saw.
Now in 2004, people still don't know what they really were.
Almost 54 years later, and the only explanation the government came up with still just doesn't make much sense to Pat.
Because that little bird in the picture there, I can't imagine that turning into a disc that's all lit up at night.
That's right. The government explained the sighting as a natural phenomenon. In other words, they said the lights were birds reflecting the lights beneath them.
I don't think I was terribly impressed about it being birds because I couldn't see how birds would do that.
Officials thought the bird was a plover, which is about the size of a quail. However, game wardens say plovers don't fly in flocks larger than 3. And Pat says if it had been birds, she should have heard something.
But they don't fly over quietly, and I can't see them reflecting in the form of a disc if they were flying over.
Other experts say these pictures aren't fake, and the discs were flying much too fast to be birds or anything but an unidentified flying object. Pat thinks it was a special experience, but something as simple and beautiful as a sunrise.
It was just a wonderful thing that flew over. It's, sort of like the sun coming up in the morning. That's nice. I can't explain it, but I do believe it.
A belief that's just as strong even without an explanation. Erin Kennedy, ABC 28 News.
Well, a little Levelland girl is dreaming of the day she won't have to use a wheelchair to get around. And today, her community is rallying around her to make that dream come true. KMAC 28's Erin Kennedy has her story from Capitol Elementary School.
282 balloons float over Capitol Elementary, each one a symbol of hope and support for 6-year-old Candace Pope.
They got closer and closer.
And then all of a sudden, what happened?
The balloons went off.
It meant so much, just all the kids gathering together from 1st grade to 4th grade, all of them, and just doing the circle of love I thought was great, and having Candace in the middle. It was overwhelming, really.
Candace has cerebral palsy, yet to receive the treatment she needs, she has to travel to Tucson, Arizona.
They're going to teach me how to walk.
In a tremendous show of community, Hockley County came together to raise almost all the money Candace and her mother need, and this 1st grader can't wait.
Is it sometimes frustrating being in a wheelchair?
Yes, because you can't sit in the chair when you're in a wheelchair strapped in.
After treatment, Candace knows exactly what she's going to do.
Walk over there by myself and make a castle in the dirt.
A simple goal for a brave heart.
Yes, I'm very excited.
Are you all at all nervous, or?
I'm not nervous at all.
By mid-June, Candace hopes her light-up shoes will stomp the ground instead of metal. A day when community helps a little girl lose the weight of her wheels. Erin Kennedy, KMAC 28 News.
Oh, bless your heart there, Candace. What a...
I get to move my legs now, and in a wheelchair I didn't get to move my legs as much.
3 months ago, 6-year-old Candace Pope needed her mom's help to get around. Now, the little speed demon has grabbed the reins.
Why don't we call it a race horse?
Okay, it's a race horse.
And even wild horses couldn't slow her down.
She's just so happy. She almost makes her fall. She starts giggling and raising her hands and so excited.
Excitement that started back in Arizona, where Candace endured excruciating physical therapy.
Was it hard in Arizona? Were you doing some really hard stuff?
Yes, I slided on the table that was a wooden table, and it hurted me, so I had to hurry.
But the intense therapy has paid off. Only 2 months ago, Candace could barely reach her hand above her shoulder.
They only went about this high.
And how high do they go now? All the way to the sky!
Yes. I can touch the ceiling of the car now.
Every time we're in the car now, she's either kicking the back of the seat, trying to see how high she can get her feet, or she's trying to touch the ceiling, because she can touch the ceiling now.
Most moms would probably tell their child to stop kicking the seat. But to Cindy, each jolt is a blessing.
I'm like, go ahead, kick higher. Keep touching, touch with the other hand.
Almost as jarring, Candace has begun wondering why she can't walk and others can.
This trip is the first time she started asking me why she has cerebral palsy. Why me, Mama? And that's been different. So now she's like, well, I can still walk, though.
A determined little girl, wise enough to teach us all a very powerful lesson.
Don't take things for granted, you know, little things.
Erin Kennedy, KMAC 28 News.
Good reminder.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Erin Kennedy reporting live from the 7-Eleven on 19th and Iola, where officers are investigating a capital murder case. Earlier this morning around 4 o'clock, 2 suspects came into this 7-Eleven and shot 46-year-old Patricia Garcia in the neck or chest. The woman has since died, and before they were at this 7-Eleven, they actually robbed a 7-Eleven on 34th and Frankfort, and then after they left here, they robbed the Easy Mart on 50th and Chicago. The suspects are still on the loose, one described as wearing a black sweatshirt and khaki pants, the other one wearing a red sweatshirt and black pants. They have 2 weapons, 1 rifle, 1 shotgun, and a handgun. Earlier today, a man was in dusting for fingerprints. The medical examiner has already been here. Right now it's still ongoing. They're trying to see if this was a robbery as well, but right now they are connecting all 3 robberies. Reporting live on 19th and Iola, Erin Kennedy, KMAC 28 News. Matt, back to you.
KMAC 28's Erin Kennedy spoke with Ronald's family while they struggle to find answers. Erin, how's the family holding up?
Well, Carla, they're upset and frustrated. Even though there were witnesses, none have the same story. In fact, some say that Willis just found the gun and accidentally shot himself. Others say Willis got the gun from a family friend. So right now, all Ronald's family really wants is the truth and closure.
What happened? What happened? What happened? You know, what happened to this baby? We want to know.
Sarah Lewis wants to know how her 11-year-old nephew ended up dead and why no one's talking.
We're hoping and praying that somebody will come forward and tell the police what actually happened, where we can get a closure to know, you know, what exactly happened to your child.
Sarah remembers that child as an innocent boy who loved bikes, an honor roll student who dreamed of visiting Italy.
He had asked me, he said, "Aunt Sarah, have you ever been to Italy?" I said, "No, I would love to. I've seen it on TV, and oh, it's so beautiful over there." And he told me that he was going to get to go there, and he said he was going to bring me a gift back.
Ronald's principal says every student at Alderson Academy will miss his spirit and generosity.
He was the one that whenever he saw you, he would give you great big bear hugs. To everybody, he just loved the bear hugs. I had my arm around him talking to him the other day, and he just looked up to me and said, "Miss Matson, I love you."
All I can say is it's so sad, such a tragic, that we had to lose him at this young age.
Principal Matson says Alderson Academy has 8 crisis counselors on hand to help all the teachers and students coping with Ronald's death. And if you would like to help the Willis family pay for Ronald's funeral, you can make a donation in Ronald's name at any Plains Capital Bank. Reporting live in East Lubbock, Erin Kennedy, KMAC 28 News.
Erin, I guess the biggest mystery right now is no gun. The gun is missing.
That's right, Carla. After the crime, they actually found a gun on the roof of the apartment building, but it didn't match the description of what they were given. So they think that they might have the gun, but at this point, nothing's certain.
All right. Thank you, Erin. As Erin mentioned,
there, and he said he's going to bring me a gift back.
Besides spending time with his family, his 6 brothers and sisters, Ronald loved to ride his bike, and he'd often ride it over here to the Parkway Village Apartments so he could hang out with his friends.
All I can say is it's so sad.
This is a KMAC 28 News special report.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm KMAC 28's Erin Kennedy. We have some breaking news to report this afternoon. Around 7:45 this morning, police responded to a check subject call here at the Windcrest Estacado Apartments on 512 North Martin Luther King Boulevard. When they arrived here at apartment 4101, they found single mother 45-year-old Tammy Cooper, her 11-year-old daughter Jasmine Mahogany Allen, and her 2 twin 9-year-old boys, Cadice Allen and Kashelm Allen. A friend discovered their bodies when she came to pick the kids up for school. She noticed that the door was ajar. Police are thinking that there might not have been forced entry because the door was ajar. Police described the scene as bloody and violent. The bodies were found in the bedroom, the living room, and the kitchen. And since there was a struggle, there was furniture overturned. Police believe that the suspect may have gone to a local hospital and he may be injured. They're asking anyone with any information to please come forward and contact the Lubbock Police at 741-1000. Of course, stay with KMAC 28 and we will keep you advised. I just spoke with Lieutenant Victor Quintana. He told us that we will have an update at 4 o'clock this afternoon.
This has been a KMAC 28 News special report.
All right, Erin Kennedy is out there live right now. Erin, we see it on Pinpoint. It's a little bit of snow. Erin, how's it going with where you are? I think I see you. Erin?
Yeah, Ron, you do. Good evening. How are you? We've been doing this for a while, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
We have. And I hate to say it, but I think it's even colder right now than it was this morning.
Yeah, I think it is.
Unfortunately, though, that cold weather is really affecting a lot of people. The South Plains Electric Co-op has been without power since early this morning. Right now, there are 20,000 people without power, and it's expected that 10,000 of people will remain without power through the night. But of course, crews are going to be working overnight to make sure that they can restore as much power as they can. And right now we're actually at Lubbock Cooper High School, which is one of the places that the Red Cross has set up for people who don't have electricity. Of course, if you need help, give the Red Cross a call, 765-8534. In the meantime, just wear some gloves and a jacket. Ron, back to you.
All right, Erin, you're tough out there, but how about you? How are you doing out there?
I'm doing good, Ron. I don't know if you can hear me yet. We're having trouble keeping the camera lens clean because we are good.
I can hear you.
We're standing into the snow right now. Snowball to the eye. But we're having trouble keeping the lens clean. If you can see over here, we're in a parking lot. There's absolutely no snow on the concrete. It's just melting. But over here in the grass, obviously plenty of snow here. Not quite enough to make a snowman. It's just really, really, really wet. And if we can pan over to the street here, this is what you're going to see on your morning commute. The roads are not icy. It's just a lot of standing water in toward the drainage area, but really nothing to be concerned about as far as ice goes. Drive slowly. A lot of people here are driving really slowly, which is good, but we always have to prepare for the worst. That's what my dad taught me. There's always some driver on the road. Most of the time it's me, but I'm hoping not this morning. At least I'm off the roads, but everybody else just allot a little more time for your commute. In the meantime, we're just going to stay wet for you, Ron, and do what we can.
Erin, I have seen you drive before, and you drive very safely, but I did want to ask you this. The wind chills show about 10, 11 degrees. Your face is exposed out there. How quickly did it take before you went from warm and toasty to cold and nasty out there?
It's pretty quick, pretty quick. I don't know if you're saying this just for spite because it is funny. No,
oh, no.
It is. It's really cold out here. In fact, my legs are freezing. I'm actually wearing Matt's jacket because mine wasn't waterproof. Definitely the waterproof is essential because the snowflakes are super wet. Otherwise, you're right, the wind is going right through me right now.
All right, Erin, thanks so much, and you take it easy there. We'll be
Will do.
back with it. It is live out there. Pinpoint shows snow falling. Visibility's coming down. Erin, good morning.
Good morning, Ron. How is it in that warm studio?
Erin, I am fine, but you know, beauty before age. So the old guy has to stay in. You're doing.
Fashion first is just not applicable today. We have to
No.
dress for warmth, and you got to know it's going to be wet. I'm going to show you a mistake I made. I'm wearing cotton pants. Don't mind my color clashing. If you can see, I'm only standing out here a few minutes, and I'm already 3 inches deep with my cuffs in this rain. It is so wet. Now, besides it just being wet, Jacob, our photographer here, is going to pan up to that light post because you can't tell just looking at me that the snow's actually coming in sideways. It is super windy out here, Ron. I know you were talking about a wind chill earlier, and that is certainly the case. The snow is coming in sideways. It's wet. It's only sticking to the grass right now. No ice on the roads, but you really have to dress for the elements today. I can't think of any other advice than just drive slow. Seems like everybody is just slow and go right now. I haven't seen or even come close to any accidents around here, but just a lot for a lot more time and be ready for some cold.
You know what, Erin, I'm feeling like this. I don't know why. I just feel this way, but shall you and I just talk the next 30 minutes or so about snowflakes, snowflake sizes? Do you see, triangles? Do you see? You want to do that, or do you want to
Sure,
take a break?
can we do it where I'm sitting in the live van and you're talking about the snow?
No, I think you've got to be out in it because that's what makes good TV.
No,
This is
sure.
Good TV
I'm in
for you
it.
to be out
Is there
there.
anything you want me to look for in these snowflakes? They're big, thick, and wet.
Well, see if you can bring back a couple for us. All
We
right?
will do that. You might actually get it when you're not expecting it, those snowflakes.
Well, thank you so much. It's so good to see you this morning, Erin. We'll
You
be
too, Ron.
discussing with you here in a couple of minutes. Is Erin out there yet, or is she still getting some Java?
Ron,
Erin, what kind of coffee are you drinking this morning?
Not enough coffee. That's the kind of coffee I'm drinking. I'm having trouble hearing you, Ron. Hopefully you can hear me okay.
I can
though.
hear you. Everybody can hear you, Erin. Don't worry about it.
Okay, wonderful. Yes, no, drink your coffee and make it extra piping hot this morning because it is freezing. In fact, Jacob and I are going to do a little demonstration for you in a bit. In the meantime, we want to show you the roads right now. Again, there's just standing water coming out towards the sides of the roads. Everybody's driving in the middle. People are really driving slowly. It's important to remember that. The other thing is, we've had a couple accidents in the past couple days because of the slick roads. One of them was on the underpass, actually right over here, which is something that you need to keep in mind when you're going on the overpasses and the underpasses. Something else that I wanted to point out as a little irony. Ron, weren't we in the 60s, 70s a couple days ago?
Yeah, I think we were. I mean, 80 last week.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Well, no, it's pretty normal around here. You're from Denver. The same thing happens up there. Now, can I ask you a question a while ago? And you was talking about fashion tips. What's your problem with your shoes? Are you wearing something fashionable instead of something keeping your feet warm, aren't you?
No excuses, Ron. You're right. I'm wearing sneakers and I have water that's coming up to my knees. Each time, okay, you can see the back of my pants here. We're getting snow on them. The back of my legs are completely wet because we're standing into the snow. Then I go into the live van where it's warm and then it all melts and then we come out here and I freeze and we do it all over again. No, we're having lots of fun this morning. The thing is, we are kind of being lighthearted about this, and I think we can because it's really, the roads are okay right now. There is a lot of standing water, but as far as ice, nothing like that is concerned. And no more of that, what was it? Thunderstorm clouds, snow clouds?
Yeah, something like that,
is
Erin. You got it. You're on the right track. There was a lightning bolt.
So I haven't seen any more of that, though. So it probably is, I'm assuming, safer than you might assume, seeing all the snow out here.
All right, Erin Kennedy, let me get you back into the van. Do you have a blow dryer?
I should. I have one at home. I'll go and get it at home.
See if we can get you a blow dryer and dry off your pants.
Sounds good.
You know, I have small children. That always seems to work with them. They get out of the bath, they like to be with the blow dryer going. There you go.
That's what I need.
That's what you need. All right. And I'll tell you what, Matt and I have come up with an idea. We're going to go ahead and see if we can get you a big old blow dryer as a gift to you.
Aw, Ron, thanks. Yeah.
You're welcome.
For those of you who missed it earlier, Ron's parenting tip of the day was blow dry your children when they're cold.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
It does work, but put on some lotion, you get dry skin that way.
Thank you. That's another throwback to Ron. Moving on, I actually tried to, just before you tossed to us, I've counted 3 school buses going by. So one is to let all the parents out there know that it seems, as far as we know, that all Lubbock ISD schools are on time right now. The roads are really fine now that we're out here and the sun is slowly starting to rise. It isn't warming things up any, but it is getting a little bit nicer. In the meantime, I told you, Ron, that we had an experiment for you. Do you remember that?
Okay, I want to see it. Yeah,
okay.
Hurry up, Erin.
I'm doing what our boss calls taking one for the team. Okay, ready?
All right, I'm ready.
Okay. Okay, see, the thing is, if we had done that earlier in the morning, they were wetter, but now they're just a little bit harder. But it is still very cold, and Ron, like I promised you, I've got one for you coming up.
Erin, I look forward to that, folks.
Erin Kennedy joins us now live in our newsroom with more on this story. Erin?
That's right, Randy. As you mentioned earlier, these 2 cases are similar to one big puzzle. The sheriff's office has gained substantial information in the past year, but it's that last piece of the puzzle that's eventually going to complete the picture and solve the murders. And they are confident that a name will lead to an arrest.
Who did it? Well, something.
And if you do know something, if you provide any information that can lead to an arrest, you're actually eligible for a cash reward. That reward is now up to $1,000. And if you're wondering how you can provide information, get that reward, and still remain anonymous, when you call Crime Line, you're actually assigned a number. And all you need is that number in order to collect that reward. Reporting live in the newsroom, Erin Kennedy, KMAC 28 News.
Erin, thank you for that report. Now, folks, if you have any information about either one of these murders, please call the Crime Line at 741-1000.
Water and sewer rates. The price hike includes a 3% increase in the cost of water, while your sewer cost will rise 5%. City officials say customers will see their bills increase by an average of $1.77 per customer per month. Time is running out for those who want to cash in on tonight's Mega Millions lottery. Tonight's jackpot is $101 million. That's the highest it's been since July. In addition to Texas, 10 other states participate in the lottery, and you can always catch tonight's Mega Millions numbers right here on KMAC 28 News at 10. And a member of the Viewers Club is $200 richer. Victor Contreras saw his winning numbers on KMAC 28 last August. Contreras couldn't collect his money back then because he's a truck driver and he had to hit the road. Today, he finally found the time to visit the KMAC 28 studios and collect his money. And of course, from all of us here, congratulations, Victor. And if you want to become a member of the Viewers Club, just go to our website, www.kmac28.com, or you can go to Yates Flooring Center at 19th and the West Loop 289 and register there. And as always, time to head on back to the fair. Carla, Randy, looks like another beautiful day out there. People probably need to hustle on down, right?
Hey, it's a gorgeous day, Erin, and congratulations to Victor Contreras for the Viewers Club card winner.
We have met some Viewers Club card winners.
And the other thing is, I don't eat many corn dogs, but I really wanted to try a corn dog.
Mm-hmm.
And now I like mustard, but not too much mustard. So I asked for a corn dog, and I asked if she could paint just half the corn dog, you know? So I figured it would be like the right half or the left half, and she painted the top. So if you ever,
that's like that joke, you know, where you share half a drink and you like my half's the bottom half.
Yeah. So if anybody else just doesn't want too much mustard, specify which half you want. That's my fault. I should have clarified. And here's the lunch menu.
And community members today to find out how they are coping with this terrible loss. Erin, the fire marshal's office believes these 2 fires were set deliberately.
That's right, Randy. You can see behind me the broken but already boarded up windows. Now the key is, by breaking into the high school here, authorities believe that since the buildings are connected, the suspects actually gained access to both buildings. Now the damage is done, but the community is already picking up the pieces.
try to get past this.
And as they both mentioned, hundreds came out this weekend to help clean up and support the school and the students. Authorities believe that they do have suspects in mind, but right now the investigation is still ongoing. Reporting live in Abernathy, Erin Kennedy, KMAC 28 News.
All right, Erin, thank you for that report. Now, officials estimate
when it comes to tableside reporters, we think we've got a pretty good one. Erin Kennedy will be joining us throughout the show. Erin, found anything interesting out there yet? I know it's early, but you got to have something for
David,
us.
what isn't interesting out here? I've already had to turn up my volume on my TV because the people are getting rowdy and it's getting crowded. You got to get out here now. You're going to have a lot of fun tonight. One of the crazy fans we've gotten a chance to run into tonight is Jerry. Jerry, tell us your name and why you're down here.
My name's Jerry Smith. I come down here because of the camaraderie between the people that are down here. It's always great competition. Jakes and KKAM are doing a great job putting on a wonderful, wonderful atmosphere in here.
It's always a great competition, but I mean, seriously, what is one of the best rivalries in football history?
Oh gosh, it's always the Cowboys and the Redskins. Always.
Any predictions?
Cowboys all the way.
Oh, come on, we need something crazier than that, Jerry. You're crazy. Show us your craziness.
You want my craziness? Cowboys are gonna skunk them 35-0.
You heard it here. You heard it here first. We've got the point spread down on the table. Another one of the crazy fans, you guys, I could go table to table with all these crazy people. Can you tell us your name and why you're here?
Yeah, I'm Matt. I love this place, and you know, Cowboys, Redskins, huge rivalry, Gibbs, Parcells. There's so much going on tonight, and there's no better place in town to watch it than right here. So
more TVs we can shake a stick at.
That's right, more TVs, and we have lots of people around here. We're having tons of fun. David, I don't know, each time you toss it back, we're going to get crazier. We're going to get more predictions on those games, but in the meantime, tell us what's going on. We're going to keep talking to people around here.
I appreciate it, Erin. Erin Kennedy, everybody. Of course, Cafe, definitely the place to be on Monday night. Erin Kennedy can attest to that. She joins us once again from the masses of Cowboy fans in their Cowboy garb. I don't have that, Erin. I need to get one of those.
David, I am your official Cowboy correspondent. I'm everywhere in the bar right now. We're having technical difficulties. Okay, I think we've got them under control. Anyway, I got to spend the weekend over at the Dallas Cowboy Pro Shop. You think that spirit just, I mean, it's everywhere in here. You need to get down to Jake's. We're having a lot of fun, but I ran into some interesting fans when I went down to the Dallas Cowboy Pro Shop, and you can see that right now.
How about them Cowboys? Something part about this state's heritage is, you know, we love football.
Texans love football. Even more, we love them Cowboys. And come Monday night, we have a decades-old grudge to settle.
We want the Redskins. We want Joe Gibbs and the Redskins.
Any fun trivia? The most hated team in the NFL has got to be the Washington Redskins.
Well, we call them the Deadskins. You know, if you're a true Cowboy fan, you call them the Deadskins.
Back in 1959, it was those Redskins that barred the Cowboys, then known as the Texans, from becoming an expansion team in the NFL. So the Cowboys fired back.
What happened is the Dallas Cowboys bought the rights to Hail to the Chief, which was the Washington Redskins theme song. Well, the Cowboys wouldn't allow them to play the song until they were allowed into the league.
And ever since, punch for punch, the Cowboys and the Redskins have duked it out. But there is one man who will ultimately settle the score.
That's the reason the Texas Stadium has a hole, so that way God can watch his Cowboys play.
Say a little prayer and you hope your team wins, you know, or at least cover the point spread.
Most Cowboy fans believe God slips on his #1 foam hand each week to cheer for one team only, America's team. That religious devotion even follows fans into the afterlife.
We actually had one that passed away, and everybody, even the guests that were coming to the funeral, dressed up in Dallas Cowboy merchandise. And that was something that I've never seen before, but die-hard fans, and that's what
Literally,
they are.
right?
Literally.
Jesse Espinoza has worked for the Cowboys for 7 years. At the Dallas Cowboy Pro Shop, he sells the only official Cowboy gear I got a chance to preview. This is the uniform that the Cowboys will be wearing when they walk out on Thanksgiving Day, the same uniform that they wore in 1960. This Monday, fans who bleed blue will get their chance to raise their glass and show their true colors.
It's going to be off the hook, off the chain. It's going to be crazy.
Certainly is crazy. The only reason I can do that is because I am a big Williams fan, so he and I are both big hitters, and Along with some other big fans here, we have Ray. Ray, tell us, who's your favorite Cowboy?
Roy Williams.
And then why is that? Because he's a big hitter like me?
He's a hard hitter. He hits it hard. So.
And what's the score going to be today? Any predictions?
Cowboys by 10 over. So.
Come on, show some more spirit.
All right, 38 to 10.
There we go, 38 to 10. Okay, moving on. How do you think it's going to turn out? Any craziness going on today?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think it's going to be more like 21 to 14 or something like that.
You making any bets?
Oh, no. Not really.
We're just sitting here enjoying the game, having a lot of fun, right? And any advice to anybody who's watching at home?
Just enjoy the game and watch the Cowboys win.
That's right. We're all out here, but it is starting to get crowded. The parking lot is really full. If you want to come down, you might want to hurry. In the meantime, here we are at Jake's, waiting for you to come out. David, from your official Cowboy correspondent, I'm going to send it back to you.
All right, good job, Erin, as always. You know, we go down to tableside reporter Erin Kennedy one last time for some final predictions. Erin?
The official word is Cowboy correspondent, but we are here with the only Redskins fan in the bar. Trey, tell us, you said you're diehard.
I grew up in Washington, lived there my whole life. Forced to move here to Texas because my wife made me move, so.
And so here, anybody throwing things at you yet?
What's that?
Anybody throwing anything at you?
Not yet.
Anybody? No, okay, Trey, so thank you. We appreciate it very much. If anybody wants to come down here and tell Trey otherwise, you better hurry. In the meantime, back to you, David.
Go Redskins.
You really don't like tableside reporter? Okay, we are done here at Jake's Sports Cafe. We'd like to thank Mark Kennedy, our Cowboy correspondent, Erin Kennedy, and everyone else that took part in this show. So without further ado.
Are you ready for some football?
Yes, go ahead.
I think he's...
So I said, God knows there's something wrong. So I ran over there to Miss Gloria and told her, did she see Tammy? And they said they haven't saw Tammy. So I said, it's something wrong somewhere.
Friends and family began to worry when Tammy didn't answer her phone. Moments later, they found out Tammy and her 3 children had been brutally murdered.
My stepdad had came and he was like, you better lock the door while you're here asleep, and you got the door unlocked. They just found this woman and her kids dead.
She never did hurt nobody. That's what I'm saying. She never did hurt nobody.
While neighbors waited for answers, they spent the morning remembering a loving mother and her 3 young children. Emily Fountain has known Tammy for 34 years, but they just recently reunited.
I was going to the mailbox and she asked me my name, and I told her, I said, my name is Emily Fountain. She just jumped up and hugged me. I said, be careful, I just had surgery. She was so glad to see me.
She was sweet, and her kids was real sweet. Them twins were real sweet, and the little girl was sweet. Yeah, she had some nice kids, though.
Tammy, Jasmine, Khadil, and Kashim had just moved back to Lubbock from Dallas. Neighbors say the Coopers had only been in their new apartment for 2 months. Now they want answers.
I didn't hear nothing last night, and I was up till like 3 o'clock. I didn't hear no gunshots or nothing. I don't know what could have happened.
As Tracy just mentioned, even though the Cooper family actually lived in this complex with other families, a lot of people are saying that they just have no idea what happened. Most neighbors say this is a quiet community. In fact, I spoke with one woman who said she moved here to get away from the violence. Now she's hoping police find the killer so that she can feel safe again. Reporting live in Northeast Lubbock, Erin Kennedy, KMAC 28 News.
And Erin, I understand police are trying to backtrack the last 48 hours of Tammy's activities, who she was with, who she was dealing with, any arguments, things of that nature.
That's correct, Randy. Again, they're talking to suspects around the scene. They're actually detectives taking statements right now and again going over any information that they can to help solve this murder.
All right, Erin, thank you for that report. Folks, if you have any...
I didn't hear no gunshots or nothing. I don't know what could have happened.
As Tracy just mentioned, a lot of the neighbors around here have no idea what happened, even though the Cooper family shares this complex with other families. Now neighbors are hoping that police can find the killer so they can feel safe, and so the Cooper family can find justice. Erin Kennedy, KMAC 28 News.
Fíjate que qué buena oportunidad, Erin, para aquellas personas que quieren regalar algo bonito, diferente y no muy costoso.
Sí, y es para beneficiar los artistas, ¿verdad?
Sí, los artesanos que hacen todo esto, que sí, de todas partes del
Y
mundo.
buenas regalizas para la Navidad, ¿no?
Oh, sí, y tenemos, como dijo Gwen, los precios son de $2 hasta lo que uno quiera gastar.
$2, es increíble.
No, sí, unas cosas que se venden allí a los precios que no.
Van a estar colaborando con nosotros aquí en Si Se Puede.
Sí. Hablé con Miss Lubbock, Erica Ponce, ayer y vamos a tener un reportaje con ella
el fin de semana que viene, ¿no?
Oh, seguro que sí.
Okay.
Qué bueno, así es que ya comenzaron a tener reportajes. Y estos reportajes van a ser de bastante interés porque hemos estado limitados en presentar nuestros visitados y estar platicando y todo. Sin embargo,
ahora
no, Erin y Anthony van a salir on location y van a traer reportaje con imágenes y todo para que la gente los vea.
Sí, y si alguien tiene una idea o algo que quiere, coverage que tiene importancia con la comunidad, just give us a call.
Algo que sea de beneficio para la comunidad, desde luego. Pues una vez más, quiero que te voy a decir welcome to el equipo.
Gracias.
Bienvenida al equipo de Si Se Puede y a Anthony también.
Thanks, glad to
Y
be here.
estaremos viendo la entrevista de Miss Lubbock, Erika Ponce. La semana que entra aquí en Si Se Puede, y también tendremos otros invitados y esperamos que regrese Luis y Belinda también con nosotros. Muchas gracias por acompañarnos y gracias a nuestros invitados y gracias a usted que nos deja visitar en su casa y nos vemos el domingo entrante aquí en Si Se Puede. Entonces, adiós.
Adiós.
Stories on the teams, the players, and its fans. Cowboy correspondent Erin Kennedy will join us throughout the show with some of those fans. Erin, have you found anybody yet? I got a feeling it found one or two Cowboys fans out there.
I haven't found anybody who isn't a fan yet. David, no, we're having a lot of fun. Should be a great game. With me right now, lucky person, the first person I talked to, Roger here, actually just came back from deployment and is excited to finally be watching the games live, right?
Oh, definitely. Every time we always get to see them, it's always tape delayed. I'm actually from Hawaii. Well, I'm stationed in Hawaii right now, but even there, the Monday Night Football games come on tape delayed. So it's gonna be an awesome game tonight, watching it live and everything. So, well, I'm not saying it live, but not tape delayed. So it's gonna be a good time.
Great. Are you making any predictions or anything like that?
Oh, the Cowboys are gonna win, guaranteed. And that's no lie. Roy Williams is gonna knock out Terrell Owens, guaranteed.
That's right. One other thing you have to notice, David. Roger and I have a bond.
Oh, yeah.
We're both Williams fans because we're both big hitters, but anything else you want to add? Any point spreads?
Point spreads. I don't know about the point spread, but I can guarantee the Cowboys are going to win. No doubt. No doubt. And mahalo to everybody. I'm staying in Hawaii. I've been there a couple of years now, but it's good to be back home, visiting the family and friends.
Well, of course, it is wonderful to have you back home. We wish you the best, and thank you for everything that you do for us. And thanks, Roger. And in the meantime, David, back to you. We're having lots of fun up here, of course. We'll stay in touch to tell you what's going on.
All right, you know, we've gone way too long without an update from our Cowboy correspondent, Erin Kennedy. So without further ado, Erin, take it away.
David, I agree with you, but thank you very much. I got a chance to catch up with 78-year-old Pat Thurman, who has been a Cowboy fan longer than the Cowboys have been the Cowboys.
You know, we never can have enough of our Cowboy correspondent. Yes, Erin Kennedy. She's actually off for the night, I guess. What have you been doing here?
What? Nobody knows. I've been standing right next to David just eating wings, hence my fingers. I really need a paper towel right now, but having lots of fun. Nice and cold outside, so you need to come in here.
Yeah, come join us out here at Hooters. They'll be, you know, doing the whole Monday Night Football thing the rest of the time. And I guess we got to get a prediction from you. I know there's some paper towels. Thank you very much. Give us your prediction. Even though you're wearing the jersey, I'm still going to ask you.
Okay, well, David, in my random knowledge, the Cowboys are 51-38 with the Eagles, right? So I am predicting a win since odds have it in our favor. I'm going to go with 21-7.
21-7. I'm just, somebody's laughing over here. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that this is actually a football game. I know the Philadelphia Eagles fan over here is thinking that it's going to be a blowout, and we kind of hope it's not going to be that, but come out to Hooters, enjoy the football game. Eat wings. I'm going to eat some wings right about now. What do you think? I know you've already eaten, what about 3 dozen?
At least. I'm the one putting the dent in the pile here of wings, but they are really good. Surprisingly enough, this is actually my first time to Hooters, and I'm really enjoying it. Everybody here is having a lot of fun. The wings are phenomenal, so I'm impressed with that, and everybody's looking for a really good game tonight.
All right, Erin Kennedy, David Collier here.
It was a scary morning for several Lubbock residents. They woke up to find their apartment complex on fire. 2 people were taken to area hospitals for smoke inhalation after a fire broke out at the Omni Apartments yesterday morning, but they've since been treated and released. A hometown hero stuns his sweetheart in a Christmas greeting from Iraq. The holiday message from Iraq that we feature here on KMAC 28 always brings warm wishes from overseas to family members here on the South Plains. But one greeting sent to KMAC has a reservist man on his knees. KMAC 28's Janice Edmond brought this special message to his loved one and has her reaction.
He's my best friend.
Congratulate me.
See, I'm almost crying in this one. Malcolm is expected back in July, so Becky can expect his proposal in person. As for the wedding, she wants to be an October bride, and we wish them both the best. Most of us know Carl Isett as our state representative, but did you know he's also a lieutenant commander with the Navy? 2 days before Thanksgiving, Isett returned home from Bahrain after 2.5 weeks overseas. The island country south of Iraq serves as a major hub for supplies heading into Iraq. Each year, Isett spends 6 weeks outside the U.S. He now is preparing for the upcoming legislative session in Austin, which will commence on January 7th. The White House staff has decked the halls and the rooms of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue with Christmas finery. Join First Lady Laura Bush on a holiday tour of the presidential home. A San Francisco newspaper drops a bombshell on the sports world. New York Yankees star Jason Giambi admitted that he used steroids and human growth hormone. The revelation would make Giambi the highest profile athlete to admit using steroids. The San Francisco Chronicle reports he told a federal grand jury he used several different types of steroids in 2003. Giambi said he received the drugs from Greg Anderson, who's Barry Bonds' trainer. He's been dogged for years by suspicions of using performance-enhancing drugs.
Not done steroids, is that?
There will be more about this on ABC's 2020 broadcast tonight at 9 o'clock. 6:51 right now, 26 degrees outside. Coming up on KMAC 28 News, the Toys for Tots campaign is picking up speed.
Y Erin, tú eres una persona bastante ocupada porque
¿Sí?
das las noticias de las 5 de la mañana a las 7:30.
O más,
Más
depende, sí.
de lunes a viernes.
Sí.
Y después,
¿sábado?
Aquí están los sábados y también por las tardes.
Sí.
Andas dando la vuelta
Sí.
tomando videotapes.
Sí.
Y nos vas a presentar unos videotapes ahorita de unas entrevistas.
No, sí, es mucho, pero me encanta mi trabajo y es un placer, de verdad.
Pues a nosotros es una gran ayuda y encantado de que estés en el equipo de Sí Se Puede.
Bueno, gracias por invitarme, mucho.
¿Y aquí qué vamos a presentar ahora? ¿Qué información nos tienes?
Sí, vamos a empezar con un gran cuenta, de verdad. Erica Ponce es la primera hispana para ganar el título de Miss Lubbock 2005 y es increíble, de verdad, es hermosa y amable, mucho, pero describe todo como un honor y ser la primera hispana en ganar el título.
¿Y tenemos algo en videotape?
Sí, ahora. Con mucho orgullo, Erica Ponce demuestra su cinta. Como la primera hispana en ganar el título, describe el premio como un honor y una oportunidad. Tienes metas para las mujeres, las niñas. Dime sobre estas metas con las mujeres y las mujeres hispánicas.
Bueno, cuando era más joven, no tenía personas para decirme que yo pudiera hacer las cosas que tenía dentro de mi corazón. Y yo quiero ser esa persona por las jovencitas de nuestra comunidad.
Ponce desea ser un ejemplo para las mujeres más jóvenes.
Like most young women, especially being Hispanic, I think that we're taught that, we're very traditional and that we're going one direction, and a lot of times you're not told that you can do it. A lot of times people don't have enough faith and confidence that you can become someone, especially Miss Lubbock.
Ahora, esta Miss Lubbock 2005 quiere promover su causa, enseñándoles a las jovencitas. Sin embargo, su meta y su involucramiento sería realizado aunque no tuviera la corona.
Not because I'm Miss Lubbock and not because it's the good thing to do, but because I really care about people and I really want to make a difference.
Una diferencia que tiene valor y que merece nuestra comunidad. ¿Tienes orgullo sobre su raza, sobre su título?
Sí, mucho, porque creo que es una gran bendición para ser latina, para ser una mexicana, y yo quiero representar a nuestra comunidad con mucha alegría, estoy bien contenta para ser Miss Lubbock 2005.
Muy buena información, muy buena información.
Muy bueno.
Erin, dime un poquito, quizás se repita alguna de esta información, pero ¿ella es estudiante o trabaja?
Sí, todavía es una estudiante en Oral Roberts University y va a graduarse este diciembre y quiere venir en este programa cuando tiene tiempo.
Oh, qué bien.
Y tiene que competir para el título de Miss America, ¿verdad? Y esta competición va a seguir en julio. Y si tiene éxito, va a seguir con Miss America.
Qué bien. Así es que es una posibilidad que esté con nosotros antes del concurso ese.
Sí, claro que sí.
Muy bien.
Y también para competir en Miss America tiene que tener un talento, es diferente a Miss USA. Y ella competió, she competed, con salsa dancing.
Oh,
y eso todavía es la primera vez que they had salsa dancing as a competition ever. And
go ahead, I'm sorry.
when she competes for Miss Texas, she's going to try ballet folclórico, which again is going to be the first time.
Está muy interesante. ¿De dónde es ella?
Ahora está en colegio.
Pero ¿cuál es su pueblo natal?
Lubbock.
Oh, es de aquí de Lubbock.
Sí, sí. Lubbock High y todo.
Oh, de veras de Lubbock High. Oh, congratulations, Lubbock High. Yeah, wonderful. Tenés más información en videotape, ¿verdad?
Sí, más. Y eso fue en el programa de past weekend. Y eso es Affordable Housing, Be Home for Christmas. Y se pasa ahora, pero todavía hay casas listas de comprar.
Muy bien, vamos a ver.
It was a month before Christmas. Erin Kennedy, KMAC 28 News.
Otro reportaje muy bueno, muy bueno.
Gracias.
Gran oportunidad. Si alguna persona quiere más información, pueden llamar al Community Development de la ciudad de Lubbock, ¿verdad?
Creo que sí. No sé, pero es 775-2282. Pero todavía hay casas para comprar y tiene hipotecas si puedes calificar para comprar las casas. $18,000.
Muy buena. Antes que se nos pase el tiempo, dinos un poquito de ti. ¿De dónde eres?
Soy de Colorado y asistí a Notre Dame en South Bend, Indiana.
¿Y dónde aprendiste español o lo estudiaste en la escuela?
La mayor parte en España, cuando estudiaba allí en Toledo, al sur de Madrid, pero todavía con mi universidad. It was my major, mi especializada.
Cuando estás en España, ¿lo estudiaste formalmente o solamente lo levantaste lírico?
Los dos. Los dos.
¿En qué parte de España estuviste?
Toledo.
Toledo, ¿estaban ahí con tus padres o estuviste ahí?
Creo que sí, no. Espero que sí, con una familia que vivía allí.
¿Y ahora cómo le gusta aquí en Texas y en Lubbock, Texas?
Oh, I like them most.
Like it?
Las personas, sí, me cae muy bien. It's great.
Qué bueno.
It's been a real pleasure, un placer.
Así es que esto fue como un exchange student program, más o menos.
Más o menos, pero no, you just studied abroad.
¿Qué tanto tiempo estuviste allá?
Creo que era 6 meses. 6 meses.
¿Y antes de eso no sabías español?
Quiero regresar para practicar más y eso, claro que quiero hacer eso para practicar, pero no, es un placer para estar aquí y estoy muy emocionante.
Y es un placer para nosotros.
Ernest, ¿y a qué horas son las horas que usted sale en Channel 28, más o menos?
¿Qué hago?
Sí, aquí.
Las noticias hasta 5:30 hasta las 7.
Lamentamos que nos tenemos que ir, Erin, sin embargo, queremos seguir platicando contigo para saber más de ti. Te agradecemos muchísimo que estés aquí en el equipo de Sí Se Puede. Regresamos el domingo entrante, Dios mediante, aquí en Sí Se Puede. Hasta entonces, adiós.
From everyone's favorite cowboy correspondent. Yes, you know her and love her. She's from Good Morning Lubbock. Her name, Erin Kennedy. Erin, what's on tap for us tonight?
Sounds like a personal ad, David. Not too much. We're up here talking to fans right now. We also have another story coming up with a lifelong Cowboy fan. That's going to be a good one. And later on, we actually have a special guest. You'll want to stick around for that because I hear that they have a very special gift for me, too. So I might be changing jerseys later. That's a little hint. But right now, we're going to be talking to some fans. First, we have Josh. Josh, why are you excited about the game tonight?
Well, I just like watching the Cowboys play and like coming to Hooters for the girls.
Thanks for the honesty. Okay, are you making any predictions tonight?
I think the Cowboys will come out ahead. Of course, I'm a Texas boy, so I like the Cowboys.
And tonight's a pretty important game, though, right?
Oh, yeah, it's always important when your Cowboys are playing.
Any point spread guesses? We betting anything?
Nah, I'm not betting anything. I'm not a betting man.
No. Okay, just enjoying the girls. Okay, thank you, Josh. Moving on. Erin, why are you here? Why are you excited about it?
I'll just come for good food.
You making any predictions, though? Do you have any wagers?
I think the Cowboys are going to win this one, and I'm not betting on this game.
And how about any running? Do you follow the running backs and?
Not really.
Okay, well, we're going to get my predictions later then, because I heard that it's a big scandal going on. Julius Jones, actually from my alma mater, so we'll see what's happening there. In the meantime, David, we're going to keep talking to people. And like I said, we have a lot of great stuff coming up. Back to you.
Erin Kennedy is out there somewhere. Where are you at, Erin?
I am still upstairs, David, having a lot of fun. I was trying to make some predictions up here. We know that the Cowboys have played the Seahawks 8 times. We've won 5 times. So everybody up here, we're all pretty much guessing that we're crossing our fingers at least for a win. But somebody who's really crossing their fingers tonight, Pat Thurman, is a man I spoke to actually a couple weeks ago. He's been a lifelong fan. Actually, he's been a fan longer than the Cowboys have even been the Cowboys.
They were America's team. They're America's team, and they're my team. So how's that?
And welcome back, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Hello to Pat. We invited him out here tonight, but he just couldn't make it. We're with another really big fan here, Amanda Arismenez. Amanda, you know so much. She's honestly schooling me and everything that's going on. Tell me your predictions and why you're going that way.
I think tonight the score probably, I'm going to go for 32-17. Of course, we've won, 5 out of the 8 games that we've played against them, and, I'm rooting for them really hard tonight, so hopefully they'll win.
Amanda, I got that fact from her, so you're repeating what I just said. Because
exactly.
Thankfully I got that from you.
Exactly.
Any other guesses then, or any other fun trivia that people might not know about?
The Cowboys entered in the NFL in 1960, and I believe the Seahawks entered in 1975 or 76, one or the other.
So we have more history, so we're going to win. That's what you're saying, right?
Exactly.
Yes. Okay, thank you so much, Amanda. We really appreciate it. In the meantime, David, like I said...
Now, we got a Roy Williams jersey over here, but I think Erin Kennedy is upstairs with a couple of people that prefer another safety that plays for the Dallas Cowboys. Is that correct, Erin?
That is correct, David. I actually might be taking this off a little bit later, but right now we're actually with Lynn Scott's aunt and uncle because you guys are just so proud of the work that he's done. Tell me a little bit about him.
Oh, he's just a small town kid that made good. I mean, a lot of hard work. He's got a bigger heart than he's got muscles, and he's got a brain, and he just gives it his all every play.
And tell me about the special gift that he just got his dad.
His dad's birthday was last week, and his dad had never had a new pickup in his life, and Lynn bought him a new pickup for his birthday.
That is so incredible because you describe him as a very humble and down-to-earth person who's just enjoying it while he can, right?
Yeah, he's just living the dream of every little kid that ever played football in the state of Texas, and he's just, like I say, he's just living a dream.
And you got a jersey for me.
Yeah. We saw you last week, or a couple of weeks ago, wearing the Roy Williams jersey, and we thought you looked good in it, but we thought you'd look better in a Lynn Scott jersey. So we brought you a Lynn Scott jersey.
And I really appreciate it, and that I will be putting that on in 1 second. And thank you so much for being here, and tell Lynn, obviously, that we wish him the best. In the meantime, David, I've got to go change, but back to you.
And we're getting ready to wrap things up here on the show. And, we don't get to see this very much. We've got Erin Kennedy here, but the strange thing is this guy right here. Good Morning Lubbock's Matt Lavon in here. We got to get a prediction from you because we know you're going straight to bed after this.
Oh, of course. Why not go to bed? I have to be here to support Erin this time of day. Come on.
So who's going to win?
Cowboys, of course. I mean, who else would win?
Good point. That's why he's up early in the morning.
He's very fiery.
You got a prediction for us?
I'm going to predict the Cowboys are going to win, but my prediction is going to be with the running backs. I'm going to say that Julius Jones is going to get more yards than Sean Alexander since he ran for 150 in the last game. So, and 2 touchdowns.
You heard it here first. She knows what she's talking about. We've appreciated everybody's support over the last 3 Monday Night Football games. It's been fun. Enjoy tonight's game between Seattle and Dallas.
Right now, it's a wonderful program, and the pretzels are wonderful,
It's
so
rewarding.
I'm glad that I get to benefit from you doing this too. Yeah. And he's the lead reindeer during the holidays at the Bronx Zoo. From prison to your living room, after serving her time behind bars, Martha Stewart will host a daytime television show starting next fall. Mary Snow has more about Stewart's new venture.
By the 16th, we'll have a really good grasp on what's going on about Christmas.
But no, I want it now.
You want it
Yeah.
now? You want it now so you can make all your plans, so you can...
My plans are going to be eat, sleep, watch claymation Christmas stories.
Which will be...
A long way to go, but Lubbock is already seeing dollar signs. The multi-million-dollar Marcia Sharp Freeway project is expected to pump big money and thousands of jobs into the Lubbock economy. TxDOT announced the second phase should create 6,000 new jobs in the city. The construction runs along the Brownfield Highway from Salem to Avenue L. California-based Granite Construction was awarded the bid. The state will spend $131 million on the project. TxDOT says contractors will spend $500 million locally. The entire construction project could continue for decades. Phase 4, which stretches from Avenue L to I-27, will cost $55 million, and right now there's no funding. Funding could come from a combination of federal, state, and local sources.
Organizers of the event say it's important to acknowledge World War II veterans since more than 1,000 die every day. And we're counting the toys to Christmas. As of now, we've collected 5,804 toys for Todd. Hill Center residents say their town is small, but their holiday celebration was big. The Pentagon is preparing to send an unusual shipment to Iraq with the help of a 14-year-old girl. A middle school student has collected 27,000 items that were once hot commodities in the United States. Now they'll be delivered to Iraqi children.
Now we're on
The thing is that we figured out is if he gets thrown for a loop at all, then it's all just downhill after that.
It's the slippery slope effect.
Dave Stroll Center residents have been planning this celebration since June. They say they're extremely pleased with the results and can't wait to show off even more holiday spirit next year. Have been rewarded with a holiday. A pleasant BCS surprise is sending the Red Raiders to sunny San Diego to compete in the Holiday Bowl. The Army has reopened an investigation into how former football star Pat Tillman died in Afghanistan. Tillman was killed in April this year. The Army initially said he was killed by enemy fire and gave a detailed account of how his patrol came under attack. But 1 month later, they said he was probably killed by friendly fire. New details have now emerged about what the Army knew and when they knew it. 3 Denver City elementary school teachers were killed Friday morning after their minivan collided with a semi. They were on their way to an education conference in Lubbock. Yesterday, Veronica Flores and Marina Natividad were laid to rest. KMAC 28's Janice Edmond was in Denver City for the funerals. The third victim, Rosie Garza, also taught in Denver City. She commuted from Hobbs, New Mexico, and will be buried there today. The city of Wolfworth is again warning its residents that the tap water is still too dangerous to drink. The city's newsletter says excessive amounts of fluoride still saturate the water supply. The minerals can cause bone disease in children. To combat the problem, bottled water is provided for children 14 years and younger, but one resident who asked to remain anonymous thinks the problem continues to be ignored. Pots, pans, this disaster canteen has everything it needs to serve 1,500 meals, exactly when it counts. Around 10 o'clock last night, Tom Castilleja's ex-wife made a frantic dash to her neighbor's house, pleading for help.
The female who lived at that residence spoke very little, if any, English. She goes to a neighbor's house and requests help.
According to police, her ex-husband, Tom Castilleja, had repeatedly stabbed her boyfriend, Angel Hernandez Garcia.
When our deputy arrived at the scene, he observed a male laying on the floor, directly inside the door, on his back, with a knife handle sticking out of his chest.
By the time authorities arrived, Garcia was dead, but Castilleja was nowhere to be found, and neither was the victim's car. Then, about half an hour later, the Lubbock Police Department received an anonymous tip that helped them finally track down Castilleja.
Shortly after that, LPD received a call saying that the individual who had left that house that could have been involved in that altercation could be located at a business at...
Get back! We need a star team. With a documented history of violence, should anyone be surprised Flowers ended up killing Michelle King? King's attorney says no.
She testified, though, that it wasn't enough for him to simply cut her, that he wanted to tie her up, make her listen to him, and then stab her.
It was that conviction that kept Flowers from getting his dream job as a Lubbock firefighter.
At this point, I believe he had nothing to lose.
According to Flowers' friends, Jason and Michelle were just star-crossed lovers.
Jason was just not in his right mind, and this was a young love gone wrong.
Belinda Yates says she doesn't believe Flowers had a history of violence.
So would you not say, though, that he had a tendency to be violent and that's why she got the protective order?
No, ma'am. He's not a violent type person.
So why would Flowers take his ex-girlfriend hostage, 15 hours later murder her, and then police say turn the gun on himself?
No one of flesh and blood could do that. It's
19th Street and West Loop 289, and if you noticed, Teresa and I coordinated our outfits
You
today.
really did. You did well, and of course, plenty to celebrate. A good way to start the new year off for Teresa. It was a couple $100.
Especially after Christmas expenses.
No doubt about that. Get that credit card bill. John, Erin, let's check in now.
But the devil took over somewhere in there, and Jason wasn't Jason.
Erin Kennedy, CBS 13 News.
Pretty high cloud.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Erin Kennedy. Carla Leslie is off for the holidays.
And I'm Randy Lynn. We begin tonight with breaking news. We understand 2 men have been badly injured after a metal pipe explosion in southwest Lubbock at 1585 and Frankfurt.
A 70-year-old man was transported by AeroCare to the hospital after being hit with shrapnel in the leg, actually in a major artery. And we understand this explosion happened near a cotton gin.
Yeah, neighbors tell us that the explosion, they heard a loud explosion, and 2 men were actually playing with gunpowder in a metal peace pipe. And they started playing with that, and they loaded it up with gunpowder, and then they started shooting golf balls in the air. Then they decided to stick a potato at the end of the pipe, which sealed the device and caused the explosion, also creating that shrapnel.
And that shrapnel hit the elderly man in the leg, causing lots of bleeding. The other man was taken by ambulance. Also, there were witnesses at the scene. Those were the people who called the police.
Yeah, folks, they're watching the scene. The Woodrow Fire Department, the Lubbock SO, and DPS are still on the scene. Now, we have a crew on the way back. We'll get you pictures as soon as we can and have more information on that later in the show for you.
We're going to return to some breaking news right now. We have some video to show you of the accident. We begin with the breaking news about 2 men who had been injured after playing with a metal pipe. What had happened was they were stuffing the metal pipe with gunpowder and then putting golf balls into that pipe. When they lit the gunpowder, it would explode, sending the golf ball into the air. They were doing this with, we were told, a few friends, probably about 4 or 5 other witnesses. Now, then they decided that they wanted to use, instead of the golf ball, a potato. But by using that potato, it actually sealed the exit of the pipe, which then, when they lit it, exploded back into them.
Now you're looking at pictures there. AeroCare transported a 70-year-old man. At last report, again, 2 men injured in a pipe explosion. They were playing with this pipe with gunpowder. A lot of witnesses around, people watching this go off. They were just playing with this device and exploded, sending shrapnel everywhere, injuring both men. And we'll continue to bring you up to date on this breaking story.
We do have crews on the scene there. Yet another Lucky K-Mac 28 viewer wins big in the Viewers Club card contest. Teresa Martinez won $200 at 19th Street and West Loop 289. And if you noticed, Teresa and I coordinated our outfits
You
today.
really did. You did well. And of course, plenty to celebrate. A good way to start the new year off for Teresa. It was a couple $100.
Especially after Christmas expenses.
No doubt about that. Get that.